All right, welcome back, Gemini, to Intuitive Insight. So today we are going to do a What's Going On reading. It's a 5 card tarot reading, but we are going to crown your reading with an Angel Therapy Oracle card, just to give you a little bit more self-guidance for how to deal with what is going on in your life. And maybe ain't nothing you need to fix in your life, but Spirit may be calling you to spend more time with yourself. So the card that you actually got, Jim, is Goddess. Now, oh, excuse me. It says express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. Now, for the woman, we have 3 parts of us. We have the maiden, the mother, and the matriarch. Okay. The maiden is the inner child. The mother is the nurturing qualities, and the matriarch is the teacher. Now, for the males, the man, you guys have the lad, that is the inner child, the dad, that is the disciplinarian, but also you too have nurturing qualities. Then you have the patriarch, where you are also a leader, a ruler, and a teacher. Okay. You have to express these in your day-to-day life. So it's important to express each of these 3 parts daily. All right. This helps to balance playfulness with work and relationships. Spend time each day expressing all 3 characteristics and notice how much more energized and balanced you feel. So basically, what the cards are saying to you is that you just need to, again, spend time with yourself, utilize these 3 parts of you so you can feel well balanced. I will say, for Geminis, I know my father, off rip. My father is a man of action. So he takes time to teach us when he is around, but when I was around him, which was years ago, he spent a lot of time making money, providing for us. He didn't always utilize that teaching aspect, but when he was around us, he took time with all of his kids. He sat down with us one-on-one, and he poured into us. And not only did he pour into us, but he was receptive of us as well. He took time to listen. And then not only that, he played with us. He would teach us something new. He utilized those 3 characteristics. And I will say that he used to tell me that he felt the most peace and most balance when he was at home. When my dad was in the streets, he was a truck driver, and he did extra things as well. But he was a father. Well, now he's like a father of 23, 24 kids. But at that time, he was a father of like 16 of us. And he provided for us. We didn't need or want for anything. So making money was not an option for him. And he never kept less than $1,000 in his wallet. He said anything less than $1,000, he broke, and you better not be talking to him. That was my father's goal. And all of his daughters, from my knowledge, because I could say for myself as well, our men are providers. That was very important. There was nothing wrong with us having, doing 50-50 and carrying our man too when we needed to, because as a woman, that was our job. But he largely needed to provide. Okay. So I just say that, I guess it just made me think about him because he's a Gemini too. But I will say for you, I know a female Gemini, and she's actually my husband's mother. And she kind of sticks, to doing her day-to-day routine. But she has to remind herself to take time to read. She has to remind herself that she needs to learn something. And also, she will teach people things on the internet. Exercising her inner child, she's not keen on doing that. That's something she does need to do. So every now and then we suggest her like a comedy or something like that so she can laugh, and it gives her flashbacks on the past and where she's come from. You understand? And the mothering, the nurturing part, well, she has grandchildren. So when she gets them, she has that, but she does constantly have her grandchildren on her mind. So it's important to balance those 3. And you don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to nurture right now. You don't have to do that. But please always balance your energy. Y'all have precious minds, the Mercury individuals. And I say that because Gemini and Virgo, I'm married to a Virgo. It is very important. I'm the opposite. My friend hates her husband playing games. Like, I ain't kidding. Well, her boyfriend, because he is not her husband. She's very judgmental on that. He needs to play his games, but I'm one that encourages my husband to play games, or let's look and see if there's a new game out there, because you need to exercise all of those qualities. We talk to him. He spends time with his sons as well and teaching them. He teaches me too. And he's very nurturing. My husband is also a very, very good listener. He's a nurturer. It is important. And I say that because you guys are the smartest in the world. You know, not trying to be googly over y'all, because your air signs, I love air signs. Virgo is earth sign, but it's ruled by Mercury. They share it with Gemini. But it is very important for y'all to have that balance. And when my husband does work, come home and sleep, I actually don't allow him to do that. Maybe a couple times. If he's like extremely exhausted, he needs to do that. You know, sometimes his brain gets work like that. I allow it. But other than that, and yes, I said allow. Other than that, I do not. I'll be like, why haven't you played your game? Oh, you don't want to play your game anymore? So should I just throw your computer away since you're not using it and take up so much space? Like, I would say that. I'd be like, oh, so you just don't care about it anymore. There's nothing out there that's interesting. Like, I made it sound kind of bickering. I'm not bickering at him. I'm saying it to you guys like it's like that. There's art to it. But I strongly encourage him to exercise that inner child. And everyone should do it. Not just Gemini and Virgos, but all. I just feel like those of you who are governed by Metatron, which is Virgo, it is important for you guys to unplug, you know. All right, so that's 6 minutes of me talking about that. My bad. Anywho, I just wanted to stress that point to you because it's very important. All right, y'all are very intelligent, and don't just do it to mess with people either. You know, sometimes people like to dissect, like, you know, maybe a single mother-in-law who loves to nitpick, start shit, and then feel bad about it. Mental health is real. But you got to exercise all three aspects, okay? All right, enough of that. What's going on with you? Now watch this be super short. Okay. We have the Four of Swords. Look at that. Coming through with some healing and some temperance. All right, balance. I just talked about that. Yeah. Don't you love when your cards come through and show out? Five of Swords. Chatter. We have the Four of Cups and Judgment. Ooh. Bottom of the deck, what you got? Eight of Swords. That is your energy. Okay. Now, as I did with the other sides, I'm going to clarify your Four of Swords and your temperance. But right now, what I will say, you have the need to balance. You need to harmonize. So maybe what you put out, I didn't mean for it to set up like that, but you need to reflect and see how you're presenting yourself in the world. Oh, okay, it's time to bake it. Here we go. That is the Nine of Swords. We have the Ten of Swords and the Page of Wands. Oh, okay. Bottom of the deck there is the Knight of Wands. All right. Big ups to my sister. She gave me this deck. She know I love tarot. I could never have too many tarot decks, you guys. I just love the art of them. One day, I'll probably design my own one day. Okay, so with these three cards that are crowning your Four of Swords and the Temperance, that is your current situation. What I will say for you, you're feeling unaligned with people around you. And for a Gemini to not be connected with those around them, that is a problem, because y'all are people pleasers. You're people pleasers, you're people manipulators. You know, you guys are very prominent individuals in your community, whether it's family, work, your neighborhood. You just are. You guys just have that about you. You're very versatile, okay? Right now, you have done something. I will say someone could have done something to you. You could have done something to someone or vice versa, okay? But what I will say, you're dealing with the situation right now where you're feeling quite stressed out and quite defeated. And for some reason for you, Gemini, with having this Nine of Swords, which is the stress, and the Ten of Swords, which is defeat, you are still feeling enlightened. Like there's a opportunity that's sparking within you to make things better. All right, to move forward in life in a positive direction, with whatever the situation is. Okay, I want to say it is because when we look at temperance, although that's Sagittarius energy, which is your sister sign, this is about the self. I think you're just reflecting on how you've expelled yourself into the world and how maybe that has and hasn't played out the way that you wanted to. I will say here, Five of Swords. When we have the Five of Swords under the Four of Swords, what that says to me is this: you could have went about a situation in a positive way, and it could have turned to something negative. You could have taken someone's kindness for weakness, or them you. You could have also, instead of using your words to empower, motivate, you could have used words to belittle someone and damage someone's reputation. Just when you have Five of Swords, when the Aquarius comes in this type of reading, especially under healing, this is someone that was in solitude, someone that was really happy, and you could have just come through. Maybe you thought you were making things better. It could have been someone that didn't want to be around a lot of people, XYZ, and you could have brought them around a crowd, and it didn't work out that way. And you may not, you may have missed the message that this person probably didn't jam that well with X, Y, and Z. And it was to your own benefit. You wanted to be the one to add someone to it, but you didn't consider their feelings. You know what I mean? It's not coming out as something very malefic. It does seem quite innocent. And then in trying to patch it and make things work, I think you could have made it worse. And that's why you have that Nine of Swords energy with that Ten of Swords, and it's just like, what, I have to accept that this is just done and try to create something new. When the Page of Wands comes through, especially crowning something as heavy as those swords, it's a new light, a new breath of fresh air, a new idea to just be present and value what you do have in the moment, whether it's dealing with that person or just progressing into something more loving, more peaceful. Do you understand? Here, your advice, though, is the Four of Cups. So if you are constantly trying to fix, this is a warning to pause. Pause, reflect, and don't engage. When you have the Four of Cups, okay, because you got the Four of Swords and the Four of Cups. When you have, that was the Knight of Wands and the Eight of Swords, okay. Oh, that's funny. 8, 9, 10, them your cards. Those are your 3 deacons. Okay, anyhow. When you have the Four of Cups as an advice, stop. That is what that means. It means pause. You gotta allow things to run its course. And the reason I say that too is because you have judgment. Now, there's nothing you can do. And I know that sucks because Gemini, you are the magician. Mercury is the magician. And you have a way with words. You also embody the Lovers. That is your card, connection, union with people. It's very hard to stay still because Geminis don't lie down. You guys are very fierce. I think a lot of people kind of underestimate Geminis, but I've never seen a Gemini just bow down. But as a reader, I'm just reading what I see. And if you resonate with this, the best thing you can do is just allow sleeping dogs to lie. Allow things to run its course. If this is what it is, just accept this new beginning and move forward. Judgment coming through means that your actions are under evaluation. So if you meant well with an individual or individuals, because you do have the Five of Swords here, that does call to a group, collective. If you do have this, just allow it to let people play it out. And this isn't something that happens overnight because words sting. I always tell people this. If you get into a fight, I think that was South Central when he says, when you get into a fight, a man's wounds will heal. But if you take someone's life, you can't come back from that. Now, I know that can seem pretty heavy, but when you look at it in the sense of someone's reputation, if you have played a part in something in a form of detriment to someone's reputation, there's nothing you can do. You can try your best to smooth things over, but you have to allow things to run its course, because sometimes you can be more damaging than healing to the situation. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but it is true. And I mean, you can always say, I didn't mean it like that. Like, oh, You took it wrong. You see, that's invalidating someone's emotions. So sometimes you have to just wait and allow that person to come to you, allow them to confide in you, and allow things to just play out. If you have the opportunity to be in the same area with that person again, just take it easy, take it smooth, because the heart never lies. You understand? And if you meant well and a person chooses not to forgive you, well, guess what? That's their cross to bear, not yours. Because in your heart, you meant well. Okay? Now, this is what I got for you. I really do hope, let's clarify judgment, huh? Because I can hear, what about judgment? What's going to happen with the judgment? We are going to clarify judgment. Cast your burdens unto Jesus, for he cares for you. All right, so you have the 8 of Cups, the Star, and the Hermit. Ooh, that's really good. That's really good. And why that's so good? Okay, so with judgment being clarified with that, and you taking this advice of pause, okay? If you take that advice, it allows this person to move from the emotions of negativity, from the emotions of hate or anger or pain. That could not even be it. They could just be in their own little world, and you could have been just like the stem of the cherry of what was going on, and you didn't even mean anything by it. 8 is about the self and one's power, okay? So by you moving on from this, and this person as well, and you're going into the Star, it leaves room for healing. It leaves room for the opportunity of one to go into the hermit mode and reflect on how they now have to take accountability and taking control of how they want to be presented in the world. You can't control people's perception, but you can damn well influence it. Like heavily, by choosing the right words, and by colors play a part. Like, I have really been into psychology lately, and it is quite interesting on how people move. People are quite you guys are the experts on people. I'm a Taurus, and I've been learning this. I'm a Taurus sun, but I am definitely not a Taurus rising. I have more water in my chart than anything. Water and air is heavy in my chart. So, I mean, even the way I go about love, well, one would say Taurus moves like that because it's more logical than emotion for me. But anywho, it's not that I don't love, I do love, but I'm not crippled by love. Never have been. So, digressing back to you, this is good energy because you go from an 8 to a 7 to a 9. And that gives opportunity for learning. It's wish fulfillment. And in this, if you want to create a union and positive synastry between you and this individual, because you have temperance, it's going to allow you to heal, and it's going to allow the people or the person to heal. And you choose interaction, or the group of y'all, interaction again will be something of new. It won't have animosity. It won't have heartbreak or pain. You have a mutual respect and a new beginning, as if what happened. You don't have to rehash it out or deal with it again. But, it happened. You don't have to discuss it. Nobody has to go through and apologize. I'm sorry for this and I'm sorry for that. Well, I thought it was this. You don't have to do it. Okay. I hate when people do that. That's probably my problem. I do not like that. I never have. Like, we can have a logical conversation about it, but when people start to cry, I embrace emotions. Like, I hate crying. I hate it. Like, I don't like it. I'm not misusing the word hate. Especially if I end up crying in front of somebody. Like, ooh, I don't like that. I never have. Since I was a kid, I never have. As a matter of fact, if I cried getting spankings, I would get beat more. So I had to stop crying. Like, yeah, trauma. But it built a bitch forward tough. I'm just saying. Anywho, digressing back to you. Moving forward in the future, it is good for you and this person and this connection that you are having, because you guys will be able to heal and move forward. So if reconnection is your thing, you want to reconcile with this person or group of people, it will happen. But you gotta pause. You gotta breathe. Stop trying to make things Don't keep going through your witch's hat with the magician and try to pull out other tricks to make things better. All you're doing is adding poison to it. Fuel to the fire. A lot of people don't see it that way, so I really do hope that this helped you. All right, Gemini, it was a pleasure reading for you as always. I look forward to seeing the next reading. Take care.